Well, hey there, Ghost Cats and Ghost Kittens. It is Ghost Cat Patrick. Happy New Year's Eve! The end of 2025, beginning of 2026. I hope the coming year will be better than the last. We did definitely had some high points in the last year, but as a whole, it pretty much sucks. I think that we all can pretty much agree that 2025 sucked. And it was not a 2020 style suck, but it was a suck. But today we're not here to talk about how much 2025 sucked. Today we're here to talk about mead. This is my bare bones, down and dirty mead making recipe. If you know me, you know I've been making mead for years and years and years. I've had some mixed results. I'm kind of mediocre at it, but the last few batches of mead I've made, definitely since I moved to this house, have been fantastic. So this is my bare bones way of doing it. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, I can make one of those, but this is just a how to take water and honey, put them together, boom, make mead on its very, very basic level. If you're watching this video, chances are you already know the history of mead, you have some sort of interest. With that in mind, I have made a script, so I will not forget anything. If I do forget something, it's because I overlooked it on my script. So let's just get right down to it. So, if you're gonna make mead, you need some equipment. The real basic equipment starts with, you'll need 2 carboys. Carboy is just a big glass jug where all your stuff goes. Everything ferments in there, everything does its business in the carboy. You need 2 because you're gonna be transferring between one carboy and another. We'll cover that. You'll need sanitizer. It's important to sanitize. You wanna kill any kind of bacteria or other yeasts or whatever in your mix because bad things can happen. Your mead will suck. It could kill you. It can't kill you. It might kill you. I don't know. Anything could kill you, I guess. What else do you need? You need an airlock. Airlock, look it up. It's the thing that goes on the top. It goes bloop, bloop, bloop as the fermentation happens, and it keeps stuff from getting into your mix. Easy peasy. With that airlock comes the drilled stopper. It's the little rubber thingy the airlock fits into. You'll need a funnel because trust me, you'll need a funnel. It just makes your life easier whenever you're first throwing your mead. You'll need yeast, obviously, because yeast is what makes the alcohol happen. More on that later. You'll need purified water. Technically, you can make it with tap water or really any kind of water, but trust me, you really want purified water. Obviously, you'll need honey, lots of it. I'll go for more of that later. You'll need a big pot and any additional ingredients that you want to put into it. I personally like making mine with fruits or herbs, spices, depending on what flavor profile you're really going for. Figure it out, play around with it. More on that later. So now's when the fun comes in, the process. The first thing you're going to want to do, sanitize all of your equipment. This helps prevent the introduction of bacteria and other yeast into your mead, like I said. This can be as simple as running all of your equipment through the dishwasher. My dishwasher is a little bit small, so I use a big plastic tub and commercial grade sanitizer. It's exactly the same kind of sanitizer. If you've ever worked in a kitchen or whatever, it's the same kind of iodine-based sanitizer that you use in a commercial grade kitchen. Same stuff, you can get it on Amazon, you can get it at Walmart, you can get it freaking anywhere. But yeah, just trust me, commercial grade sanitizer, that's the way to go. Once your supplies are sanitized, it's time to start your yeast. There's a lot of different kinds of yeasts out there. You can really use any yeast. You can use bread yeast for it, but they do sell brewing specific yeasts for various kinds of jobs. I've had really good luck with champagne yeast, and then there's the good old EC 1118 yeast. EC 1118 is what most mead recipes will tell you to get. It's quick to start, it's very forgiving, it doesn't give your mead any kind of nasty flavor. Just all in all, it's a good yeast to use. So try that one, especially if this is your first time, try that one. You're not gonna go wrong. If you're unfamiliar with yeast or you've never worked with yeast before, you've never baked bread or whatever, there's gonna be instructions on the packaging, but the process is really, really, really easy. Basically, you just warm up some water, you can microwave it, you can just get, we have really, really hot water out of our tap, so yeah, I can get oil. It doesn't need to boil, it just has to be very, very hot, and especially if you put your finger in it, you can kind of feel that it's hard to the touch to put it in there. That's good enough. Sprinkle your yeast in there, swoosh it around a little bit, let it sit. Just walk away from it, don't look at it again until it's time to use it. While the yeast is doing its thing, you can start your must. Must is just the word that you use for the honey and water mixture. People also use it to refer to just everything that's in the carboy. Like I said, I'm gonna add some fruit and stuff in mine. You can use whatever you want in yours, but that mixture of crap, that's all called the must. The way to start this, put about 1/3 of your water in a big pot and heat it to medium flame. I'm using a 3-gallon carboy, so I'm gonna put 1 gallon of water into my big pot. So I want a pot that's well over a gallon. So gallon and a half, gallon and a quarter, because I still have other things to put in there. So think about that whenever you're choosing what pot to use, how much water to get. Now you don't want to bring your water to a full boil, you just want it to be warm enough to be able to break down the honey. Now at this point, your yeast is waking up, your water's warming, now it's time to start dealing with your other ingredients. Like me, if you're using fruits, I want to chop up those fruits. I want to get them to the point where they're small enough to go into the carboy and easy enough to break down. If they're particularly juicy, I might want to go ahead and juice them. Like if I had a package of cherries, I just squish up about half that package of cherries to the point where it's a good pulp, and then kind of hack up the rest of the cherries to be able to go in there. More on that later. Then once the water's warm, again, not boiling, just warm enough to break down the honey, you want to put in your honey. The general rule of thumb is you want to do 2 to 5 pounds of honey per gallon. As I said, I'm using a 3-gallon carboy, so I've used 9 pounds of honey with this. It sounds like it's going to be too much, but trust me, you're going to want to stick with 2 to 5 pounds. I actually don't go less than about 3 pounds per gallon. It just brings out, you get so much better flavor. If you go less than that, it just kind of tastes like dirty sweet water, but that's really where you start getting that mead taste. Now this mixture is going to get really, really messy and sticky very, very quickly. Do yourself a favor and clean up your work area often as you go. This will save you a whole lot of work and possibly ants later. You'll want to stir the mixture often as you add the honey. This will help it all break down and mix with that water. The goal is to completely mix the honey and the water together and not have a lot of globs at the bottom that can scorch or stick around. You want all of that to be absorbed into the water. Once your honey is absorbed into the water, turn off your heat and let the mixture sit for a few minutes just to cool a little bit. 5 or 10 minutes should do the trick. Again, keep stirring that because you don't want that the honey to settle to the bottom and just become a big glob. You don't want that separation between water and honey. Now it's time to transfer your must to the carboy. Again, this is going to be a sticky process. It's going to be a gross process. It's going to get everywhere. Make sure you're cleaning, take precautions, put some paper towels around if you have to, but trust me, this is going to get yucky. Now, I've been making mead for over 2 decades. Almost 3. And it wasn't until the making of this video that Addy Cat pointed out to me that I can just transfer the must into the carboy with a cup and funnel rather than trying to pour the whole thing in the carboy all at once, making a huge, huge mess. She is a lot smarter than I am. Now, once your must is in the carboy, it's time to add all the rest of the ingredients into your mix. Since you've chopped up all your ingredients, juiced all your berries or whatever, this should actually be a pretty easy process. You just kind of chunk them in there. I like to squish up any berries that I'm using, as I said, but sometimes I wait until I'm putting it into the mix to squish those berries because I'm a sadist. I also really like having that juice in there because it really just adds something to that flavor in the end. You want the flavors of your fruit to really enhance that natural honey sweetness because you can get a real cool flavor if you balance those flavors out. Take the time, squish it up, get those juices in there. You won't be sorry, trust me. At this point, you want to pick up your carboy, give it a good slosh. The idea is not to violently mix all this stuff around. It should be relatively mixed as is. You just want all that fruit to mix in really well with your honey mix. You want those flavors to combine and enhance into its own really good flavor, its very good body. So just mix it up. It doesn't have to be violent. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Set it down, you're golden. Now, on this point in the process, your yeast should be active and ready to go. You can tell this by looking in the bowl, seeing if it's kind of foaming up at the top. It should be good and foamy. If it's not, you might have to start your yeast over. If it's good to go, you just want to get your yeast mixture, get your funnel, pour it into the mix, slosh it around 1 or 2 more good times. Again, you don't want to violently shake it, but you just want to give that yeast a good mix. You just want it in the mix. Now at this point, my method and Mead Traditionalist method, they're gonna kind of vary a little bit, if they haven't varied already. Please don't flame me in the comments. You can flame me in the comments, I don't care. But I like to add a little bit of orange juice, especially in a fruit mix like this. The orange juice flavor is so common and it tastes so good with other flavors that's gonna enhance the overall flavor, but that's not why I do it. I do it for the sugars. Your yeast eats and thrives on sugars. So I like to give them plenty of things to eat because I don't want to go too much into it, but basically the byproduct of the yeast as it consumes is your alcohol. So the more sugary stuff I have in there, it just makes for a stronger mead. It makes for a better tasting mead. It just makes for a better mead all around. Now, there's another thing that's going to kind of piss off some of the purists. I also add about another 1 to 2 cups of sugar in there into the mix as well. Again, I like to give my yeast something to eat. I like my yeast to be very, very happy in there because I want it to do its job and I want it to do it well. Now that all your ingredients are in your carboy, just go ahead and top off the mixture with a little bit more of that water. You don't want it to go all the way to the top because as your mix ferments, it's going to bubble up a little bit. You want to give it room to breathe. Once everything is in the carboy, give it a nice gentle slosh. Make sure everything's good and mixed together because now you're almost done. You just get your little stopper, put your airlock in the little stopper, pop that whole thing in the top of your carboy, and you're done. Now at this point, just store your carboy with the must and the whole bit in a cool, dark place. It doesn't have to be a dungeon. It doesn't have to be your basement. You just want it someplace where it's not hot. You don't want it to be super cold either, but you just don't. You want it to be, you know, little cooler than room temperature maybe. Keep it dark. You don't want a whole lot of sunlight in there messing with things. But again, these aren't hard, fast rules. You're gonna be just fine if you just have it sitting on the kitchen counter with a towel or something over it. I do that pretty often. That's actually where this mead's gonna live. It's gonna sit there, and it's gonna be comforting and wonderful every time I come into the kitchen. And once you've placed your mead where it's gonna go, just sit it there. Forget about it. Walk away. Go watch something on TV. Do whatever. Come back in 4 or 5 hours, double check it. At that point, you should start seeing within your little airlock a little bloop. 1 little bloop, 2 little bloops. And it'll start blooping and blooping and blooping, and you know you have everything you need. You know your mead's gonna be meading. That is a fermentation. The little bloop is the fermentation. So what happens next? Well, you just kind of leave your mead. You just let it do its thing. It's gonna start off very slow with just a few bloops. Then it's gonna go very, very quickly for about 2 or 3 weeks. You're gonna get bloop after bloop after bloop. And then it's gonna start slowing to a couple bloops an hour, to a bloop or 2 a day, and it's just gonna stop blooping entirely. That's when you know it's time to what we call rack the mead. And that's where your second carboy comes in. You're gonna transfer all the stuff from one carboy into the other carboy. I'm gonna explain that in its own video. That's its own thing. I'll show you when, I'll tell you how to do it. I'll tell you the easy way and the hard way. Both ways, it doesn't matter. You're gonna wanna rack the mead probably 3-4 times while you're developing it. It all just kind of depends on how clear you want your mead. Again, it's gonna be part of the racking video. It'll make more sense then. But until then, check back with me in about a month, so probably late January, early February when I go ahead and rack this mead. Turn on your alerts. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be doing more content with mead making, booze making, motorcycles, whatever you want. Again, comment on this video. If you have any questions, just let me know. More than happy to help you out. I know there's gonna be people out there who are gonna complain. I know it. I know there are gonna be people out there who are gonna complain. This is not the most scientific way of doing it. I'm not taking any readings. I'm not adding a bunch of chemicals. I'm not doing a bunch of stuff. This is bare bones. I want mead. I'm going to make mead kind of mead. This can get as scientific as you want. It can get as difficult as you want, or it can be super easy like this. I don't have a particularly discerning palate when it comes to mead. I like mine being super simple and tasty and alcoholic. So until it's time for that racking video, just have fun with your mead. Make something. Send me a video of your progress, or if you've modified something. Let me know what you've done. Maybe we can compare notes. Maybe I'll learn something from you. That'd be great. Until then, take care.